Almost live from Dunkirk, New York. It's Revitalize Dunkirk. One more time. Almost live from Dunkirk, New York. It's
Revitalize Dunkirk.
Thank you. We're back. We were away for a little bit over the summer. Jim and I went to China and talked to the Chinese about how we can do a better job in Dunkirk with Revitalize Dunkirk. But we're back now. And we used to introduce ourselves as Bubbles and Edna. We're still Bubbles and Edna.
Oh, yes, we are.
But our real names are Valerie Champlin and
Jim Fisher.
And we're here to tell you about Revitalize Dunkirk, bring you up to date on some of the activities we had in the summer, things we have planned for 2018, 2019, running in from fall through winter, and just bring you up to speed a little bit. Did you have a good summer, Jim?
Oh, I did.
Did you hear lots of rumors?
Yeah.
What did you hear, Jim?
Well, I heard a rumor that we might be trying to do a winter BYOC or bring your own chair sunset watch. So, you know.
Now, do I understand that there were a whole series of BYOC sunset watches this summer?
Oh, yes. We had sunset watches, BYOC sunset watches at the Point, the Dunkirk Lighthouse, Wright Park, and Main Street Beach.
Right. Main Street Beach has become very popular, hasn't it?
Oh, yes.
What happened at Main Street Beach this summer?
Well, when we had our BYOC, we tried our hand at, I guess you could call it beach bocce.
Yay, beach bocce.
And it was a lot of fun.
There were at least 12 people playing bocce on the beach.
That's right. Everybody was lining up to play bocce. I think we even had one game that was 4-on-4 or something.
Yeah, and there were prizes given out to the winning bocce team.
That's right.
And do you remember what they got as winning prizes?
It was candy that's called
Bocce, B-A-C-I, which means kisses in Italian, not B-O-C-C-E, which is bocce in Italian, but boxes of bocce candies made in Italy.
Wow.
Wow. That's what I heard. So we had a successful series of BYOC, bring your own chair, for sunset watches and bocce. But something else interesting happened at 2 of the BYOCs this summer. We had Mr. Pete Miller, who comes to Revitalize Dunkirk meetings. And what did he do on the beach?
Well, he
didn't disrobe.
No. He made us all into pretzels. No. He led us all in Tai Chi, which I'd never done before. So, you know, in July when we were at the lighthouse, I decided, well, I'm going to try it too. And it was actually a lot of fun. And, you know, it looks relatively, slow and, not a lot of big movement, but
it's a movement exercise routine that millions and billions of Asian people practice every day. So if you do travel abroad, you find, speaking of China, the Chinese practice Tai Chi on a daily basis. And it keeps you limber and alert, and it's a calming kind of an exercise. And we had Tai Chi 2 times this summer on the beach. And we had lots of participants. Mm-hmm. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, everybody wanted to join in.
Yeah.
And I was just amazed because I could feel it. Just a little bit, a few.
It's a very calming, centering kind of, sort of a meditative practice, but very easy movements. That's why you find Tai Chi is also done at senior centers and yoga centers, etc.
It's definitely not high impact.
No, and hopefully next year we can continue that on the beach in the summertime, because it seemed to be very, very popular. Yeah. And it was great to see everyone participate. We had lots of people, like 15 to 20 people doing Tai Chi on the beach. But Jim, you mentioned that we're hoping to have a winter event on the beach. Mm-hmm. I hear we're supposed to have a mild winter this winter.
Oh.
But even if we don't, if we have a typical snowy, cold, icy winter, we would still like to do something in the wintertime on the beach.
That's right. Because we here in Dunkirk, we have 4 seasons, which I like.
We're hardy souls.
Yeah. So I have no problem getting in my parka and.
So we've named it BYOP. Bring your own parka.
Yeah.
Now we may be toasting hot dogs on the beach. Maybe we'll have a burn on the beach. What is that called?
Oh, bonfire.
Bonfire on the beach. We'll think of something interesting to do. Maybe we'll watch a sunset in the wintertime. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll do something. We won't be playing bocce in the winter. But that's not to say we won't do something.
I think, too, just in thinking, I don't know if anybody's ever sat and watched the sunset like at the Point, but the ice dunes out there, when the sun is setting on them, it's just a beautiful sight. It's sort of neat,
It is neat. So keep tuning in to future TV shows and to our website. Jim, you want to talk a little bit about how people can see what's going on with Revitalize Dunkirk?
Sure.
And keep up on events?
Yep, you can check us out at revitalizedunkirk.com or on Facebook, or you can even, what do they call it now? Snail mail us at P.O. Box 107 here in Dunkirk, New York, and the zip code is 14048. Did I get everything?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. And we're going to try to do regular TV programs through the fall and winter. So hopefully we'll be doing another program before the end of October. We may even do a special Halloween show. Okay. I don't know. We don't seem to have costumes or props or anything, so we'd be hard pressed to do a Halloween show. Anything else about BYOC or BYOP or Bocce?
Well, Bocce.
Bocce.
We're going to do
Bocce in the park.
Right. Something next spring. We're going to try to get it all organized and set up for in the Washington Park in the springtime. And like that now
May or June probably.
Yeah. So hopefully stay tuned, for more exciting developments on that, because right. We're really trying to set it up. And as we've seen the interest in Bocce on the beach, that I think it'll go real well.
It worked out well on the beach, and we had a lot of people coming up to us saying, "What are you doing?" or "What are you setting up?" Because we set up 2 very, according to the regulations, bocce courts, and you can play bocce on sand. It's allowed. You can play bocce on a bocce court, on grass, on sand, on compacted earth. So
I wouldn't recommend it in your living room, but
no, you need a very long living room,
yeah.
like 60 feet long or something like that. Maybe you have a 60-foot long living room, 60 feet by 12 feet. That's
wow.
quite a house.
Yeah. All right, move all the dining room stuff out of the way.
Yeah. Now, Jim, we have monthly meetings for Revitalize Dunkirk. You want to tell us a little bit about those?
Well, this month's meeting is on the 18th at 6:30 p.m. over here at the Fredonia Technology Incubator on Central Avenue, 214 Central Avenue, in the large conference room downstairs. There's a nice parking lot in the back, so you can pull right into the parking space and go right in the back door, and we're right there. So come and join us. And
it's a very nice setting for meetings, and our meetings are friendly. And what happens at a meeting that you go to for Revitalize Dunkirk?
Well, we have our committee reports, and then a little bit of discussion about maybe our upcoming projects that either one committee is interested in, or or us as a group is interested in, and stuff like that. And it's like, and then if it's your first time at the meeting, and if you feel the stating your opinion on something, or want to talk about something, we have a part of the meeting that you can do that too, and discuss whatever is on your mind as far as things about Dunkirk and like that. So
Right. And we meet every month on the third Thursday of the month. And the meetings start at 6:30. And they're usually over by 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And we really welcome people, anyone from the community, from the Dunkirk area or outside the Dunkirk area,
whoops.
my glasses, to come to our Revitalize Dunkirk meetings. We're always looking to add to our membership because we need new ideas, we need new people, new energy, and so we warmly welcome you to join us.
Yeah.
And if you belong to other organizations like the Columbus Club, other social clubs, other service organizations, that doesn't mean that you can't come to Revitalize Dunkirk. We're all in this together and we'd all like to support each other. That's why Revitalize Dunkirk last year sponsored a session for all the many nonprofit organizations in the Dunkirk area. We had us get together so we could meet each other and say, hey, you know, when it's appropriate, let's work together and co-sponsor programs. And
Yeah.
it was successful. We're still hearing positive comments.
Yeah.
We also know, Jim, don't we, that we do have viewers of this television program.
Absolutely.
Because a couple of people have talked to me about, aren't you that lady on TV? And I said, how did you know? I recognized you. I was really shocked. And Jim's had people talk to his wife about the TV program. So it's great to know that you're watching, and we hope that you will continue to watch. If you have ideas too, please feel free to contact us. But we'd love to meet you at a monthly meeting
Right.
in particular.
Because, you know, it's just like we want to get the community involved. You know, this is your Dunkirk, and, you know, we'd really like to do a lot of things, and we just need more, I call it boots on the ground, that, you know, we need.
Doesn't mean you have to wear boots.
No, you can wear
Slippers,
flip-flops or
flip-flops, Nikes. Oh, no, scratch that. No brand name. Not E. Jim, I understand there will probably be a guest speaker at this month's meeting next week.
Right, there will be a representative from P-Tech, which is located where the old school 6 was, up on Benton Street, up on top of the hill by the Blue Water Tower. So, you know, that should be interesting because now, Valerie, you know a little bit more about P-Tech and what they do. And
Well, I went to the groundbreaking ceremony.
Oh.
And I know that they're preparing young people, high school students, in technology fields of all sorts. And the idea is to give them a really grounded high school education at P-Tech that also leads them to complete an associate's degree from Jamestown Community College. So that's a real leg up that they get.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
But students completing high school are already well on their way to their associate's degrees.
Wow.
And if you get an associate's degree from Jamestown Community College, which by the way is a very good community college, then all your credits are accepted at other universities and colleges. At least at Fredonia State, they accept your credits towards a bachelor's degree.
Wow.
So for those of you who are interested in technology or who have children or grandchildren who are interested in the technical fields, which is always a growing field, have them check out our guest speaker from P-Tech at our October 18th meeting, or investigate P-Tech more, because certainly with new industries coming into the city like Athenex and others coming into Chautauqua County, there's always the need for well-grounded, highly educated technical people. I'm not one of them. I'm a very non-technical person. I call myself a Luddite. Just give me a pencil and a piece of paper and I'm happy. Put me in front of a computer. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. But anyway, so check out P-Tech. It's worth your while. I think the students are enjoying it up there also. So we talked about all our beach events. We talked about our monthly meetings. Now, something that probably our viewers have noticed all summer long were our beautiful hanging baskets throughout the city of Dunkirk. And I think we had approximately how many? 40 or 60?
48, I believe.
Okay, 48 hanging baskets. They were beautiful,
Yeah.
up and down Central Avenue and
4th Street.
4th Street. And my understanding, you want to talk a bit about what they're planning for next year?
Well,
this is the Beautification Committee of Revitalize Dunkirk. And the chairperson of that group is Mary Reese, and she does a bang-up job with organizing beautification efforts.
Yeah, this year they got, I believe it was 5 or 6 new baskets that went in down Central Avenue to 6th Street in front of the hospital and like that. Well, next year I think they're just starting to think about maybe putting in more baskets down below 3rd Street. But I'm not sure exactly what they're planning on and like that, but I'm sure they'll keep us up to date on that as it gets closer to springtime again.
But the city has been great about assisting the Beautification Committee of Revitalize Dunkirk with the hangers and the baskets, and we've had area nurseries take care of the fill the baskets for us. The city waters the baskets. So it's a real joint effort. And countless numbers of people have mentioned how beautiful the hanging baskets are. But another thing that happened this summer was the development of a lot of pocket gardens around the city. By pocket gardens, I mean small garden efforts. And you've probably noticed a few of them yourselves. A lot of them happen in the Academy Heights neighborhood, but elsewhere also. So there are little flower gardens on corners, and every little bit helps.
Right.
And there's an adopt-a garden program. There's a nice little pocket park on Main Street and 6th Street that the beautification members cleaned up and put new plantings in. So a lot is happening in terms of beautifying the scenic avenues of Dunkirk, New York.
That's right. And you know, if you have like an idea next summer or next spring, go look at your corner down at whatever corner you're near and say, maybe I'll put up a few little plants and like that. We've had mostly Academy Heights people, organization members, put up the little pocket gardens, pocket parks on their corners, but
they're everywhere.
Yeah,
they're
there's been a few other
individuals
that have put up their own little garden on a corner. So, make our city look great. Put in a few, geraniums.
Who doesn't like flowers?
Yeah. I mean, at worst, they just look nice. I mean, you can't get
flowers or native plantings
or
trees. All of that lends to the beauty of an area.
Absolutely.
And I noticed in this week's Dunkirk Observer that there was a very nice article about Revitalize Dunkirk, was selected as a Planet in Action community. And there was a donation from Troy Built Gardening Tools to the Beautification Committee of Revitalize Dunkirk, giving us garden tools for all of our little pocket park efforts, etc. So I know we're always encouraging young people to get involved too, because it also, we want to encourage our young folks from elementary to middle school to high school to get involved in gardening, both vegetable and flower gardening, because it's a very enjoyable, healthy, long-lasting activity that you can start when you're a little kid and you can still be doing it in your 90s.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with when you're hungry and you can have your own vegetable garden out back or whatever. Just you know how to do it or whatever. Yeah.
Now, a couple of times tonight, Jim, we've mentioned Academy Heights, and the first time I heard, when I came back to Dunkirk after being away for 40 years, I heard Academy Heights in Dunkirk, and I said, what's Academy Heights? I've never heard that before. Can you explain what it is?
Well, it's a neighborhood organization that's located on in the 2nd Ward on the west side of Dunkirk. Basically, around the middle school or the old Dutch Hill area.
Is it
or
all
the
those
academy.
bird named streets like Dove and Swan and
Right.
that area through Canary and so
Right.
forth?
Yeah, right, like between or around the middle school, which I guess used to be the academy or whatever, the old high school
okay.
and like that. So that's how,
the-
Academy Heights got
okay.
in there somehow. But
But I like the sound of it, Academy Heights.
Oh, yeah.
I used to live in another part of New York State, and they use the word heights a lot for
Yeah.
various attractions, and I thought it was a nice idea.
oh yeah,
So Academy Heights is a section, a neighborhood in Dunkirk, New York.
and that's another thing too. You know, neighborhood organizations can work elsewhere in Dunkirk too. You know, if you can talk to your neighbors, get everybody involved, and start your own little
Right.
neighborhood organization.
In any neighborhood.
Yeah.
We would like to see neighborhoods kind of do their thing for their own neighborhoods, whether it's 4th Ward or 3rd Ward or 1st Ward, whatever ward you're in.
Or whatever street, or
The Ward Wars. It can be a competition. No wars, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean in terms of, taking pride in your neighborhood and doing what you can to pick up litter, cans, bottles, trash, planting flowers, cleaning up weedy areas. I know members of Revitalize Dunkirk on their own, and this is one of them, cleans up under the viaducts in the city of Dunkirk because they need it.
Yeah.
And people have volunteered, and they don't do it with any fanfare, and it's just pitching in and everyone doing a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing, getting everybody involved.
Right.
Because,
Another thing that happened, I think primarily in that Academy Heights neighborhood that happened over the summer, was the hydrant art project, where different historical figures from the history of Dunkirk were painted on several fire hydrants around the middle school area. One of them was a train conductor, I believe, and I think that was the first one, I'm not sure. But they're historical figures based on what used to happen in the early years of Dunkirk, New York. And so with the permission of the fire department and the city, we had enlisted the assistance of artists. So these weren't amateurs. These weren't just, people slapping on paint and, oh, I think this looks pretty. No, these were actually people who rendered real artworks on the hydrants. And I believe there are 3 finished, if not more.
yeah, I believe.
And the last I knew, 2 of the artists at least were area artists from Dunkirk. And the effort was really headed up by Harriet Skeeter Tower, and Skeeter's been instrumental with the Academy Heights endeavors. Bicentennial Park is another area that a lot of volunteers from Beautification for Revitalize Dunkirk help in Bicentennial Park also.
Right. And you might not even know where Bicentennial Park is. It's over on 6th Street across from the high school. I believe it was the class of 76 that originally...
Hence Bicentennial.
There we go. Ding, 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 ding.
Hi, Wynn.
But they're the ones that cleared that section, that property, and made it into a park. And then it was sort of neglected over the years, I guess. And then just recently, within the last 5 to 10 years, volunteers have reworked the park and made it into a nice little... It's real quiet, a couple of benches, you can go over there and sit and relax.
Very relaxing, peaceful area. When I was in high school, it was the smoking area, one of the smoking areas. I wasn't over there, but it was one of the smoking cigarettes, regular cigarettes area. But it was always kind of a little woodsy area, and you would go over there to do nasty things. Maybe not. But it's nice to see it as a recognizable little park.
Before it was a park, I remember having bike races over there, just pedaling bikes, not motorbikes, but messing my bike up real bad over there because there was
Were you
like
a wild
piles of
child?
dirt. Somewhat.
How did I know? Something else that happened this summer, Jim, that a lot of Revitalize Dunkirk people were involved in. We didn't sponsor it, but we volunteered in many capacities. The Dunkirk Historical Society had an old house tour. And there were, I can't remember, 6 or 7 houses throughout the city of Dunkirk, where the owners of the homes welcomed the general public to walk through their houses on tours. And there was something historical of note about each one of the properties. And like I've said, many of the Revitalize Dunkirk people are involved in that program also. I know I was a tour guide a couple years ago in Dunkirk, and it's worth your while. So if you get a chance the next time they sponsor a Dunkirk Historical Tour or a Dunkirk Garden Tour, because they've had those also. So all of these activities say to the organizations, and they're nonprofit organizations, remember, nobody's making any money off these efforts, but your support is important. So when we see you show up at a Revitalize Dunkirk meeting or a Common Council meeting or a garden events tour or a bring your own chair sunset watch, it says, okay, you believe in Dunkirk and there's something worthwhile to keep you here and raise a family here, bring your grandchildren back into town for. And so we love seeing you, and the fact that you're watching and checking our Facebook page means a lot to us. And we also in Revitalize Dunkirk also share with you some of the events that happen with other nonprofits, because we're in this together. We all kind of are rowing in the same direction to revitalize, to lift up the city of Dunkirk. For example, the fact that Athenex is started building their pharmaceutical company up off Lakeshore Drive, that'll bring a lot of changes, a lot of positive change to Dunkirk. And you're always going to have the diehard poo-pooers that are never happy about anything and find fault in everything. And we can listen to them, but we have better things to do and more positive things to do. And moving in a positive direction is what Revitalize Dunkirk is all about. Right. And there are good things happening. I know Jim volunteers a lot of his time with another organization in Dunkirk too. Right. That's a terrific organization.
Yeah, the Dunkirk Lighthouse. I don't know if you've ever been over there. I know I grew up right around the corner from it basically, and never really paid attention to it. And then last summer, a year ago, I decided to start volunteering, being a tour guide out there. And I was just amazed by the history and what they have out there, and the view from the top of the tower. It's just unbelievable. I was up there yesterday, and from the top of the tower, I seen a freighter over on the Canadian side. You can see a lighthouse that's...
Can you see Russia?
No. But you can see a lighthouse that's just north of Buffalo, near Fort Erie, on a good clear day. It's just unbelievable. And it's a jewel that's right here in Dunkirk. And, a lot of locals don't really pay attention to it. So.
And Jim is the president of Revitalize Dunkirk, and he has a wonderful personality to be giving tours to people from outside the area. He's always smiling, he's always friendly, so he's a perfect ambassador for the city of Dunkirk. Another group that meets every month in Dunkirk, and Jim goes to almost every one of these meetings, is the Citizens Advisory Committee. And that group is also just a group of interested citizens who share ideas with the city government about things ranging from safety in the city, sidewalks, etc., etc. So they do similar things that Revitalize Dunkirk does, but in a different cohort, because we don't work for the city of Dunkirk. We don't really advise the city of Dunkirk. We help revitalize the city of Dunkirk. The Citizens Advisory Committee that meets every second Wednesday of the month
Right.
in City Hall. It's not a city organization, but it advises the city of things that the citizen may is interested in. So those meetings are also open to the public. I know they're always published in the Dunkirk Observer, and there happens to be a meeting tonight at 6:30.
Yeah.
And I know Jim goes to all the meetings. They're currently chaired by another member of Revitalize Dunkirk, Paul Sommerfeld. And Paul's also the chair of a transportation committee at Revitalize Dunkirk. So we wear multiple hats.
That's right.
Everyone that I know that sits in Revitalize Dunkirk and works for the betterment of the city does countless other things for the city too. I know I do a lot of volunteer work for other organizations, as does Jim, as does Paul, as do all the board members. I was just it's a neighboring community, but I was just in Westfield all day today, and I'm helping the cat rescue organization mount up their Christmas store. Now that's not in Dunkirk, but that doesn't mean we don't get customers from Dunkirk. Because if you want beautiful Christmas decorations for pennies, I mean, they're really inexpensive. Starting November 1st, all the money goes to the nonprofit cat rescue organization. So there's so many good causes in the city of Dunkirk. Where I got my special ear was at the Lakeshore Animal Hospital, Lakeshore Animal Rescue Association flea market that was held at Floral Hall in Dunkirk this summer. And I saw this hanging on the wall and I said, perfect. For something, it'll be perfect. I wasn't sure what, but I thought, okay, prop lady, pick it up. So all of those efforts to support the Lakeshore Animal Rescue Place. And so we do a variety of things, and we're always busy with volunteer. Before I forget, I wanted to mention another organization that's really starting to come up into its own is the old Adams Art Gallery, Art Center, is now the new Adams Center. And the new Adams Center had its opening in July. The building itself is the old Art Center on Central Avenue between, right across the street from the library.
Right, 6th and Central. Yeah.
6th and Central, thank you. And a lot of work, actual physical work, needs to be done at the Adams Center. A lot of Revitalize Dunkirk people are involved with the Adams Center, and they've got a whole lineup of activities planned for fall and early winter already. They even have an opening of an art show for this Friday night.
Wow.
For the Northern Chautauqua Arts Association, another nonprofit. So we help other nonprofits, they help us. So go to the Adams Center Facebook page, web page. It'll list the events. You can learn about the art show. I'm talking to them about helping them do a stand-up comedy night in the winter. They're excited about having it, and I thought it'd be lots of fun for the area and have amateur stand-up comedy night. So there's going to be a gala, there's going to be a holiday craft show, there's going to be music, jazz, good music. There's going to be, I believe, dance performance. So please go to the Adams Center site and you'll learn all about it. It's an exciting time for Dunkirk because a lot of new things are sprouting up and happening. And it's so good to see that building being revitalized also. We wanted to say, in all seriousness, I'll even put the ear down, our thoughts and our prayers do go to the people of Florida because we have lots of friends and family in Florida. A lot of Revitalize Dunkirk members are even snowbirds.
Right.
They have homes in Florida. And so our hearts and our thoughts are with the folks in northern Florida and all those affected by the latest hurricane, Hurricane Michael, because it didn't get played up very much until today, and it ended up being a whopper.
Yeah, it sort of sprung up because
Yeah.
it was a 1 yesterday, a Category 1, and then today, when it came ashore, it was
Right.
a 4, or no, it's still a 4, because, but it just.
But a lot of people in Chautauqua County have contacts,
Oh yes.
family, friends in Florida. I know I have friends in Tallahassee, which is right on the path. So, so say a prayer for them and have good thoughts. And if there's any way that you can help them in the way of contributing to Red Cross or whatever, please do. We're going to try to have another show, we hope, if our production staff allows us to. We'd like to have it before Halloween, like I mentioned earlier. So we're hoping to shoot for the last week of October if we can get one in. But we hope at least to have a new show for you every month, or every 3 weeks or so. And we're shown, of course, you're probably watching us on cable channel 1301, cable access channel, but you can also catch us on YouTube. Since we're so popular these days, people watch us on cable access, then they go to YouTube and they watch us again. Now, I have never seen us except for one show, so I'm doing this in the blind. I don't happen to get that channel at my house, but please join us. And with that, I'll close the program. Is there anything else you can think of? We have people knocking at the door. They may be early trick-or-treaters. So I think we're going to sign off for now. And one of our council members for the city of Dunkirk just walked in. We heard,
No, I'm not gonna be
it's a council member. And we heard that it's the chair of our Citizens Advisory Committee. And we heard he's wearing sunglasses. But with that, we're going to say good night, and we'll catch you at the next show. Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Bye-bye.